The Killers from Lionsgate that just hit theaters this past weekend. This movie stars Dave Bautista as Joe Flood, the top hitman who kills criminals exclusively in Europe. Along the way, he meets Maze, a dancer played by Sofia Boutella, who finally finds the right girl. But then he realizes that he has cancer and is going to die. So he calls a hit on himself. He calls Mariana, played by Pom Klementieff, who sets up a hit on Joe Flood himself to avoid dying of cancer in that type of way. He also has a boss, also played by Ben Kingsley. But in the middle of the movie, Joe realizes the doctor calls him back and says, actually, you're not dying of cancer. Those test results were swapped with another person. So now Joe Flood has to kill all these people hired to kill him. Also in the movie is Scott Adkins as Angus Mackenzie. Terry Crews also plays another assassin trying to kill him, and also WWE superstar Drew McIntyre. The film is an hour and 44 minutes and is rated R. Welcome back to a brand new review here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinenberg. I'm talking The Killer's Game. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. I do movie and TV show reviews, movie franchise rankings, out-of-theater reactions, and every single Tuesday, box office breakdown shows. So please subscribe, ring the bell, comment down below. What are your thoughts on The Killer's Game? Did you see it in theaters? Is this what you thought by watching the trailer? You want to watch this on a streaming service or on PVOD? If you watched it, did you like it? Did you not like it? Also, please like the video. So I was not excited. I didn't have high expectations for this movie. Did not like the trailer, but as you just saw, I mentioned Drew McIntyre. I am a big pro wrestling fan. I watch it daily. So I've followed Dave Bautista's career kind of my whole life in wrestling. So to see him now become this full-fledged movie star now, I've really enjoyed. So he always will get a thumbs up from me. So let's get my thoughts on The Killer's Game. And for me, this sadly feels like a bunch of Netflix action movies or straight to streaming action movies. And the way I'm saying that is this feels very similar to films that I just reviewed here on the channel, like The Union, which was a Netflix original film starring Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry. It feels very similar to The Killer, which was on Peacock. Just action movies with cast that you have a good time with, but there's nothing particularly good going on, and it's a very forgettable movie. As I put in my out-of-theater reaction, which I did do for this movie, it's a movie that you could turn on a Friday night, just like a streaming movie. You'll have fun because you like the cast members in the movie. If you like the cast members, you'll have a good time with it. But then the next day, you'll probably completely forget 80% of the plot of the movie, and you just kind of move on with your life. That's what this movie is. It has competent enough competent action scenes. For me, the cast is what keeps this movie at all watchable. Dave Bautista is very good. He commits fully to the action scenes. He's very good in the film. Sofia Boutella is a weird one for me because I'm a big Sofia Boutella fan. She's really enjoyable in a lot of action movies. I know I didn't really like the Rebel Moon films, but even Kingsman, for example, she's very good in. She's very capable in action scenes, and here she's kind of just playing the damsel in distress. I feel like if they were going to cast Sofia Boutella, they would kind of want her to do some action scenes, and she just kind of feels like the stereotypical girlfriend who's caught that the main guy has to save. It felt like a miscast in that way because I felt like they wasted the action talent of Sofia Boutella. So that one was weird. Pom Klementieff, another one who's, again, Mantis, seeing Drax and Mantis interact in another movie is very cool. But again, another person who has no action scenes in the entire movie, just there to talk, another miscasting. I think if you're going to cast people like this, you want them to do some action scenes. And even worse than Boutella, Pom Klementieff doesn't even hint at getting into the action in this movie. That was disappointing. Terry Crews is having a lot of fun in this film. Ben Kingsley and Bautista easily have the best chemistry out of all the characters in the movie. But as I said, even though I was disappointed with the usage of Boutella and Klementieff, the acting is still very solid. These are actors that I enjoy seeing on screen. So for me, I'm not hating myself watching this movie. But from a actual negative perspective, like a passionate negative perspective, is as I described to you the plot, which I'm not spoiling, it's in the trailer and the plot synopsis, so I'm not spoiling it. You wouldn't know the movie without it. there is such a big logic leap that has to happen in this movie. And that is that he goes to the doctor tells him, you're going to die in 3 months. Then he said, and then right as the actual hit is going to happen, the doctor calls back. Actually, you're not going to die. We swapped with another person. We messed up. You should sue us or something. And it makes no logical sense. This movie feels more like really a live action, really cartoon. Nothing plausible is going on in this movie. Every time someone is killed, the amount of blood in a cartoonish way is splattered on screen. Every punch, there's blood spewing. It feels like a fountain. Every time someone is punched or stabbed, there are a fountain of blood that happens. It just feels like a laughable cartoon. Nothing plausible has happened. The movie doesn't even act like it takes it grounded. Now, I don't need every action movie to feel grounded, serious, or anything. But the actual plot of the movie, like the blood, it's laughable. It's a cartoon. I wasn't expecting a great movie, so for me, that is passable enough for me. But the problem is the actual plot that has to hit about how he goes from calling his own hit to then doctors messing something up, telling someone that they would die, and then telling them, actually, you're not going to die. And then him having to kill the hit people that he himself enlisted. It's a pretty horrible premise and plot line for a movie. And it makes no sense. The movie continues to throw stuff out there that even makes less sense on how things are happening. This was just not for me. I think if the plot had a little bit more reality maybe into it, if the action was going to be as cartoonish, that's all cool with me. I'm not asking the plot of an assassin and all this stuff to be super real, but it just strained credibility the whole movie. The entire plot line strains all credibility. And for me, what holds us together are some really exciting action scenes and really good, a great cast that keeps me watching the whole movie. But this plot strains so much credibility. I just didn't enjoy myself. So this is an action movie that you can probably save for a streaming service because it feels like a straight-to-streaming service type action movie, which is a forgettable one. So I'm going to give The Killer's Game a 2 out of 5 stars. I'm going to go 36% for The Killer's Game. What are your thoughts on this movie? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you guys soon.